Hey Osmond Eagles, Miss Lee Martinez here, and this week we are going to be creating flowers. So I have on my Texas shirt here with some really pretty flowers going on, and we're going to be getting our inspiration from nature all around us and also from the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. Now Georgia O'Keeffe was born in Wisconsin in 1887. She had 6 siblings and she grew up on a farm, which is probably why she loved nature so much. She studied art in Chicago and in New York City when she was older. And her first trip to New Mexico in 1929 inspired her love of nature even more. She kept going back to New Mexico and she actually ended up spending the next 20 years living there. She would go back and forth between there and New York, but mostly she lived in New Mexico. She created beautiful flowers. That's where we're getting our inspiration this week. And they were up close flowers. So when you're making your flowers, make yours really up close. That way we can really see that detail in there. When she was in her 70s, she started to lose her eyesight, but she continued to paint. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about Georgia O'Keeffe, I posted a video on the website for you guys to check out, and it gives a little bit more information for you. So, what I'm going to show you next are 3 different ways that I created my flowers. Okay, so the first video is going to be of a painted flower that I did on a cereal box. So remember I told you that if you don't have paper, save boxes, pasta boxes, cereal boxes, cracker boxes, any kind of boxes that you guys have, cut them up and use the inside of that to create your artwork. So this video is going to be of me doing a flower called a cone flower painted on the inside of a cereal box. All right, in case you don't have paper, I am using a cut up cereal box for a cone flower. I drew the middle part and now I'm doing the petals and the stem. So now I'm gonna get a black marker and trace all that. And I'm going to use these little scribbly circles in the middle for texture. And then I'm going to do some details on the flower, thicker and thinner lines with that marker. I needed to add another petal, so that's what I did. I'm gonna start with some pink paint right at the top, so right in the middle of that flower. And then I'm gonna get some orange and blend that next. Now I need to blend it in a little bit better, so I'm gonna use a little bit of water to kind of mix that. And then I'm going to get orange mixed with yellow to create that final color in there. Now you'll see that the line is too harsh between those two, so I get a little bit more orange just to kind of blend it together more. I got some brown for detail and some red for detail. And then I'm gonna do a dark green and a lime green for the stem, the dark green where my dark details are. And then in my background, I'm going to use blue mixed with that pink to make a vibrant purple. And I actually just used water to wash it on there, so I thinned it out. Then I'm gonna get that true blue in there and fill in those details. And I'm gonna be very careful next to my flower and my stem. All right, be very careful when you're painting a background. And after that, I'm going to make sure it's dry before I use that marker. If it is not dry, you will mess up your marker. So make sure you're 100% sure it is dry. Going over all those details again to make it stand out nice and bright. And I'm gonna go back over the little circle details to make those stand out as well. Good luck. Okay, so this next video is going to be of an up close flower on plain printer paper, and it's going to be with crayon. So I chose my crayons in the same color family, which means they are closest to each other on the rainbow. And the first color is a blue violet that I chose. The second color is regular violet, purple. And then the third color is a red violet. And I blend the crayons by going into the color next to it, all right? So make sure you blend your crayons, and I'll show you how right now in this next video. Okay, for my up close flower, I kind of did a lumpy circle to the left of my page. Then I added 5 petals, and in between each petal, I did another petal. I'm going to trace with a black marker, but if you are using crayon, you can also color first and trace with a black crayon last. You cannot retrace over crayon with marker, it'll ruin the marker. All right, so I'm gonna start out with yellow in the middle, and I'm also going to add some orange in there to give it a little bit of depth, okay? My flower, I'm going to do all purples. So I'm gonna start with a purple that is called Blue Violet. It's like a darker purple. And then I'm going to get regular purple, which we call violet, and I'm going to go back into that Blue Violet so that they blend. You have to overlap the colors to make them blend. And you have to color in the same direction that you color each time, okay? Don't go sideways if you're going up and down. Last color I'm using inside my flower is red violet, and again, I'm going back into the regular violet, blending them together, making sure they overlap, all right? Also for your flower, don't use colors that don't go together, that aren't in the same family. Green, orange, purple, they are not in the same family. Make sure they're in the same family. I used blue back in that middle to make sure it looked a little bit darker in the middle like a real flower. Now I'm using 2 greens for my background, regular green and lime green, and I'm blending those together. Again, going back and forth between the two and making sure I'm overlapping those colors, all right? I'm using brown and orange in the middle. Have fun, good luck. All right, this third video is for those of you that do have some sidewalk chalk. You can go outside and draw a really big flower. It's a lot of fun. It's a little messy. But for your sidewalk flower, again, choose colors in the same family, okay? So for mine, I did my flower coming in from the corner. So the middle of the flower is coming in from a corner of one of the squares of the sidewalk. Then I chose that reddish pink color in the chalk, and I did my petals with that. And then I added some purple in there and some white and some blue, and then I did a background as well. So make sure you do a background. Here's a video on coloring with chalk. All right, here's my outside chalk drawing, and I did yellow in there in the middle of the flower along with some orange. And my flower petals were that pinkish reddish chalk, and I also added purple for some detailing. And then I even got some blue to add a little bit of depth in there. I also added white along with the purple to make it stand out more as well, but a darker color in there will make that depth. So I didn't want to leave the background empty. I got red's complementary color, which is green, and I added that in my background. I kind of traced around the whole flower before I colored in, and then you can see me there kind of rubbing the chalk. The way I used it was I laid the chalk flat. I feel like that gets more of the chalk everywhere. And then I didn't want to just leave it green, so I added some blue detail back there as well. Lastly, I'm just getting that purple and going over the petals to make them stand out. Have fun and good luck. Okay, now that you saw my 3 examples, remember you can also do a Google drawing if you want to do that of a flower as well, okay? Now, some places that you guys can find flowers for inspiration, you can look outside, you can look in magazines, look around your house. Maybe your parents have some fake flowers. I have some right here. I even have some flowers on my wall. I have this one here, it's really tiny, and I have some here that my niece did. So look around your house. You might be able to find inspiration in there. If you are able to go outside, go around your neighborhood, go on a walk with your family and see if you find any flowers. Tell one of your parents or take your iPad and maybe take a picture of one that you really like. Really get up close with that picture so that you can see the inside and the details of the flower, all right? Another place obviously you can get ideas from is Googling images of flowers. You can even type in up close flower and see what you can find. Also, you can look on YouTube for drawing tutorials on how to draw a flower, all right? I've been practicing all week drawing flowers. I will show you some examples here. And I've been drawing these flowers this past weekend to kind of get into the mindset of that we're doing flowers this week and to really see how the flower looks up close. So I've been looking up images, I looked up some tutorial videos, and here are just some of my drawings that I've done. I haven't colored them all, but I will be working on that. Now, remember Kids Art Hub, I'll show a picture of it here. Kids Art Hub is a really good link on YouTube, a really good person to subscribe to on YouTube because he has some really good tutorials. Not only just flowers, if you want to look up some of his flowers, but when you're at home and you've done all your schoolwork or on the weekend, Kids Art Hub, you guys, we've used in class before, and he has some really good tutorials of drawing, okay? So check him out too. All right, so before you get started, make sure you do the read aloud. It's called My Name is Georgia, and the author is Jeanette Winter. So make sure you check out that read aloud. And like I said, make sure you check out that other YouTube video if you want more information on Georgia O'Keeffe. And right here, I will leave you guys with pictures of my art that I did this week. And I will also put these pieces on the website so you guys can see them, click on them and look at them. All right, you guys, have fun making your flowers, and I'll see you guys next time.